Hey, what's up, everybody? We're here again with another daily vlog. So today we are in Majuro, Marshall Islands. It's like a small little island like this, and it curves around on one end or somewhere. And by small, like thin, it's like we're out doing the all hands, and the captain made a comment about how wide the airport is. It's like probably one runway, maybe two, maybe. And I looked over off the starboard side, and you could see across the island to the other side where the other side of the island is, where it meets the ocean. It is no shit, probably can't even be a mile wide, right? Check it out. Google it. Majuro, Majuro. Here on duty today. So been running around, taking care of this, taking care of that. No potable water. It's that kind of situation here, right? So just that's we got some cases of water delivered right through the HSP, and that's really being helpful. Hopefully we'll be out of here tomorrow and make quick turnaround and just get back on down the road and try to get into Hawaii and enjoy some time in Pearl Harbor, the greatest home port in the fleet, the greatest port in the fleet altogether. I don't care what anyone says. The most beautiful, the most scenic, the history there. It's better than anything. And really, I think I've been to all major. Ports. San Diego, been into Norfolk, been to Rota, been to Yokosuka, been to, I said San Diego, been to Singapore. Not that that's a major port, but it's like a hub. Been into Bahrain, been to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, been into Sigonella even once. I forget what they call that place down there. Forget what they call it, but been there too. Been to a lot of American like major ports, and by far Pearl Harbor, the best. Right? It's beautiful. I can't wait. I can't wait to get in my whites, man the rails, and be pulling in. Unfortunately, I'm on starboard side, so right when we first pull in, depending on which way we go and everything, probably won't immediately be able to see Arizona. But man, like I'm pumped. I'll probably go over there on one of my days off, get some liberty, and go pay my respects over there at Arizona, because it's just it's namesake of my home state, and it's that's still like where my passion started, and I still love it, and it's awesome. But anyways, yep, Pearl Harbor soon. Can't wait. Majuro now. Just talked to one of the sailors. They said there ain't shit out there in Majuro. I think it's below mid. I think it's low. Just no bueno. Not very good. Burned through all my snacks that I got in Guam already. I've been munching like a fucking munchie meal. Munchie monster. And we're getting closer and closer day by day to return to home port, and just trying to figure that all out, on what we got to get done. We know what we got to get done, right? It's just kind of like making sure, being with that you have two crews, and we're going to get home, and then we're going to exchange with them soon after, and going into the yards and setting them up for success, but then making sure that we have everything that we can do to support them on the other end. It's a lot of this is like that. It's a lot of little things still going on, when you just want to chalk it up and just like wipe your hands clean and be like, fuck it, I'm going home. I ain't got to do shit. But like, it never stops, right? You don't get to just come back from deployment and be like, all right, we're going to take like X number of months off, which when we get off full, it kind of feels like that. But even during that time, it's like we need to be sending sailors to schools, making sure quals are updated, everything like that. Because once we take the ship back again, a short 4 months later, 4 to 5 months later, like we're gonna be right in the meat grinder again. So it's not really gonna feel like time off. Oh, excuse me. It's getting kind of late here. It's actually 2200. There it is. Yep. Been going at it all day. So we came in to moor up, and the tug sucked. Right. I was afraid they were gonna rip us open, and we got hit by one. Boom. Not like that. I mean, it's a little exaggerated, but it was hitting us enough up forward where like it made the whole ship shake, and even back after you like stumbled a little bit. So it was a hard hit. It was a pretty damn hard hit. And Yeah, but no damage or anything. So we fucking said, waved off the tugs, said we're not fucking using the tugs, and we did it on our own. Took some trickiness to it, right? Some things had to happen to make that happen, but really, it was a good effort by everyone on deck to make that happen. We missed the Yokohama. We were coming in sideways, and the Yokohama's here. And like as we're getting closer and closer and closer, the fucking elements, just fucking environmentals, just and we just missed like Yokohama. We didn't hit the pier or nothing, but we just missed it. So then we had to come back out, and then we came back out too far. So we had like probably 200 feet of fucking line in the water. Uh, them sailors back there were getting their money's worth in fucking deck handling, line handling skills and skill set there. It was good. It was fun. Then it started raining, totally drenched. I still got my dirty coveralls hung up, soaking wet. Just it's one of those like, but it feels good. Sometimes it just feels good to get wet in the rain, to put that hard day in. It's a nice change of pace from some of the office work all the time, from some of the just in the storerooms, putting away parts, breaking out parts, inventory and counting. That monotonous, like I like that, but like sometimes it's good just to get out and just like do more sailor shit, right? Like do some line handling, right? You know, it's just a better feeling sometimes. Mixes it up, keeps it fresh. But yeah, it was a wet one today. Rained a couple times. One of those ports where the trash, you don't have a dumpster. It's just a truck that pulls up and you throw it all in the truck, and the truck goes and burns it somewhere probably. Cool, I guess. We'll see. I can't wait. Let's just get up out of here and get on to the next one. Funny conversation we were having out there on the mooring station, right? Was it started yesterday with one of the young sailors, and we're talking about SoundCloud, like SoundCloud rappers and tattoos. Where like kids, young adults nowadays start with their tattoos, from the hands moving up, whereas like old school way, you started down, right? You worked your way down, and a lot of artists and people, they wouldn't even touch your hands or your neck if you didn't have full sleeves or other tattoos, right? Nowadays, man, like these kids, young adults, they're just young adults, right? 18, 19, 20 years old, coming straight out of high school, and they're like sleeved up this and that. We were asking a couple of them, like how did you afford that? Like, what? Like, do you just save money all the time? Do you like what are your bills? Just getting because me and Doc were asking them, and it's like when we were that age, right? And even in the Navy, like we didn't have no extra $400 to fucking go spend on a tattoo. And a couple things came to mind, right? That came to light was a lot of people was like friends of family or someone, a buddy, right, that they knew that was doing it on the cheap, right? But with cheap work or with cheap prices come cheap work. And as one thing I mentioned was like, yeah, like you can tell, right? You could be having a whole sleeve and it's just like, damn, that's bad, right? Like it's not hate or shade. It's just like it's just bad work. I'm like, yeah, of course it was that cheap. Like, dude just started tattooing because he got a gun on a fucking machine off of Amazon, right? Which, come on, you're out there, you know who you are, right? So we were asking, like, would you pay for your under 18, like 16 to 18-year-old, or under 18, 16, 17-year-old to get a tattoo, right? And the general census was no, fuck that. Like, when you're an adult, you can go spend your money. One was funny. One was like, it depended if it was their son or a daughter, and then it depended on what it was, right? And it was interesting. So we followed those questions up. But mind you, like none of these people have kids. One had a kid, another one has two kids, but he came into the conversation late. I'm the only one that was there taking part in this conversation, really, that has kids, and mine was a no, but. Then they followed up that tattoo question with like, well, would you buy your kid a car, right? And at what age and what kind of car, and like, well, how would you handle that? And one kid answered, if he said it's gender specific. I was like, well, elaborate. He said, if he has a daughter, his daughter will get anything she wants, like just free of charge. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to work for it. Doesn't have to do anything. If she asks for it, he'll give it to her. I go, okay. And if it's a son, he goes, if it's a son, he'll get nothing. He'll have to work for everything and earn his way. And I was like, what? Why the difference? And to him, he's like, well, that's how my dad taught me. And I was like, okay, like more though. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I had to work for everything. I had to learn how to be a man, and and earn everything that I wanted. I was like, do you not think it's good for a woman, your daughter, to learn how to work hard for things that she wants? And he was like, no, I want her to be given I'll give her everything, and I want her to find a man that will treat her as good as I do and give her everything. And I just sat there and I was like, man, that's one of those like, it's good to be, I don't know if the word's naive. It's good to not have kids and not know what the fuck you're talking about, though, right? Like that's what it is, right? Like my daughter, I give my daughter a lot of stuff. Nikki gets her a lot of stuff. We give them both a lot of stuff, daughter and son, right? But why would I want to raise a daughter? There's going to be another episode on this with my boy Nick, all right? But here's a sneak peek from some of my angle. Why would you want to raise a daughter that doesn't have to work for shit? That thinks that a man would just give them anything they want based off zero value. Right? Nick, if you're watching this one, can't wait to discuss it with you. But like, just think about that. Like, that sounds crazy. When he was saying, and I didn't dive in. I didn't go in on the young man. I just like let him like, go ahead, buddy. Like, you got great parenting skills already. I can tell everything's gonna work out. And I did prod a little bit. I was like, so you said that's how your dad did you? So is that how he did? He's like, and then when his answer sounded like, well, my sister's dad, this and that. And I was like, oh, hold on. Like, you're talking about your sister's dad, but you talked about your dad. That sounds like two different dads there. Maybe one mom, two different dads. Like, how you talk about your sister's dad? Like the half sister. Like, if it's a different dad, like how you taking his lesson about that? Like, did that dude raise you? Like, again, didn't get into all the specifics of it. Not too interested to know. Be a little interested, but not too interested, because again, like, it's one of those. Even I'm sure before I had children, when you don't have children, you be saying a lot of shit that you think you know what you're gonna do until you have them children, right? And when they're younger, you say a lot of shit that you're gonna do when they're older, until they're older and you have that older child, right? So you can talk all you want and think you're gonna do it this way and that way, but until you actually fucking have it, you don't know how you're gonna do shit. You don't even know how you're gonna do shit while you're doing it, right? You figuring it out fucking 40% of the time about how is this gonna happen this week or that week, right? So interesting stuff going on there in the morning station, just the conversations that we again had. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna drink the rest of this bottle of water. Had a little workout this evening, and got turned over in the morning. And we're gonna wrap it up there, and we'll get on to the next one. Got another one coming at you tomorrow. Back underway. Oh, man, it's supposed to be a rough one out there too. I think I'll be in my rack. I think I'm gonna find some rack time, and I'm like almost out. Like it's like those 2 days of holiday routine on Christmas Eve and Christmas. Like, I burned through a lot of TV shows and shit already, right? Like, we got Wi-Fi pucks here, but they ain't worth shit, right? You can't even send a text message on them joints. So, yeah, I'm about to. I got a few 2 weeks-ish maybe or something. I gotta get by. So I've hung up the TV shows. I gotta restrict myself to like one TV show a night, like one episode, and then I have to, I mean podcast. Like, I've been listening to this podcast, Glass Cannon podcast. Shout out them. They do role playing, tabletop RPGs, right? And I've listened to their first one ever. Finished that up. Listened to 2 more that they're doing. And then there's this other one. It's like it's not under their title podcast. It's a branch called Get in the Trunk. The artwork for the album for the podcast cover is really cool. I really like it. Fuck with it. But it's called Get in the Trunk, and it's they're role playing. What is it like? It's called Delta Green. It's like what do they call it? Like fake FBI agents that battle. It's like Men in Black, pretty much, that battle supernatural forces and shit. And but it's all like takes place in current timeline, kind of not 2023, but it's like 2009 or something. And so it's really cool though, man. I've been enjoying it. I just jumped onto that one. They've had it out, I think, since earlier this year, right? So I'm on like episode 6 now, listening to that. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Glass Cannon Podcast if you're into that tabletop role-playing stuff. If you're not, then I'll just be a nerd over here by myself. I think that's it for tonight. Let's wrap this, and then I'm going to see you on the next one tomorrow. We out.